Hi friends! Today I wanted to share a process with you on how to un-gaslight yourself from either narcissistic abuse or just anything under the umbrella of emotional, mental abuse and gaslighting. And this may or may not be being shared or spoken about by other psychologists or therapists, but I just wanted to make sure that it is by sharing this process with you that I just naturally came up with the other day, and it was very beneficial and freeing and healing. So if you have suffered from narcissistic abuse or just toxic, destructive people that are incapable of empathy or self-reflection, this video is for you. What you're going to want to do is take out a sheet of paper or your favorite way of taking notes, whether you're a pen to paper person or typing or on your phone. So what you're going to want to do is list out as many emotions or traits that the narcissist or destructive person projected onto you, whether they literally verbally said to you, you're this, you're lazy, or you're crazy, or whatever. Fun stuff, right? So you're gonna list that out. So whether it was verbally, with their behavior or lack of their behavior, or energetically, spiritually, your body, fun fact, your body is an emotional filter. So if you have gone no contact with this person, but you're still suffering the toxic effects and abuse from this person, what you can do, or what you can try to do, is go back and reflect on how your body felt around this person. Especially if you have chronic pain, which I will go into in another video, but if you feel like you have chronic pain because of this abuse that you endured, try to tap into the physical pain. And again, I will go into a more detailed video on this topic, but try to tune into your body, tune into that pain, the physical pain, and try to, like a thread, follow that physical pain to the emotional pain. And you're gonna wanna, unfortunately, really go into that pain and feel it until you can start, these emotions will just start bubbling to the surface. You'll start remembering certain memories or thoughts, or all of this stuff will just start arising. And just briefly, real quick, especially if this was from your childhood, growing up with a narcissist or narcissists, God forbid, I'm sorry. I can totally relate because, yeah, I grew up with narcissists too. So it's not anything I wish upon anyone. But if you did, there might be things that you can't really cognitively remember because you're exposed to it maybe even as a baby. So you're using your body as an emotional filter is a really great tool. Trust what comes up. Trust what you feel. And if you can, maybe there's another like healthy family member that you can talk to. And of course, if you're in contact with this abusive person, then it's going to be pretty easy to write all of this down. on how they make you feel and what they project onto you, either verbally, energetically, spiritually, physically, all of the above. So I'm going to pause here while I wait for you to write this down. Don't hold back. Create as an exhaustive list as possible, okay? All right, I'm going to pause here and I'll be back. So pause here while you write everything down, okay? Okay, welcome back. All right, so you have your exhaustive list on how this narcissistic, abusive, destructive person made you feel, what they projected onto you. Now, at the top of the list, you're going to write their name. You're going to write their name is ... or colon, or whatever you want to do. I like the ... So, for example, it could be John Smith is ... Okay? And yeah, so now you're starting to get it probably. And now I want you to pause this video again, and as slowly as you need to, say out loud to yourself, or maybe even have someone read this to you that you trust and feel comfortable with. That can be very powerful as well. And you're going to read this list to yourself, or they're going to read it to you as slowly as you need to let it really sink in. Okay? So, John Smith is crazy, unreliable, lazy. Get the picture? So I'm going to wait here for you until you complete that, okay? All right, welcome back. How do you feel? There might be tears. There might be, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God type of thing. As this really sinks in, you might have a breakdown. You might feel so much of a weight lifting off of your shoulders. And that's what I want for you. That's why I've come here to share this process with you, because it's meant to free you and ungaslight you and validate your real, true experience and what really happened to you. So, Tammy M. Joyce, a recent YouTuber that I came across that does amazing videos about narcissists and narcissistic abuse, she has an amazing way that I found of describing narcissists. And I have my own personal opinions. I'm not a licensed psychologist, but I feel like I should be. But anyway, she has this amazing description of narcissists to describe what they do and why. So, in my opinion, this isn't getting into what Tammy has said yet, but just to preface, in my opinion, narcissists are completely incapable and unable, okay? Completely no wiggle room, completely unable to do self-reflection, have empathy, have self-awareness, okay? And there was a childhood developmental study done called the shopping cart experiment, and you can look it up on YouTube. And it basically was studying when children become self-aware and are able to problem solve and see beyond themselves. And this can also be another developmental stage of expanding empathy. So it's my personal belief that narcissists are stunted because the shopping cart study, they found out that children start to become self-aware around 2.5 to 3 years old. Okay? And it's my personal belief that narcissists, or people in general that are unable to take responsibility, have self-awareness, do self-reflection, they are developmentally stunted at 2 years old or younger. Okay? This is the type of person that you're dealing with when you're face to face with a narcissist. You're dealing with a toddler or infant. Even though you're seeing an adult body in front of you, you're dealing with the psychology and the mentality of a toddler or infant developmentally. Okay? All right, so with that said, because of all of the unresolved trauma that narcissistic, abusive, destructive people have and aren't able to do any kind of self-reflection or healing, and lack self-awareness, they have a mountain. And this is getting into Tammy M. Joyce's beautiful description. They have a mountain of pain and unresolved trauma in their subconscious. So usually, oftentimes, they aren't even aware of this. They're unconsciously, subconsciously aware of it, but they have a mountain of unresolved trauma and emotional pain and shame, and usually self-hatred, internalized from their childhood. Okay? And because they don't have the self-awareness, and they can't live with that, and they can't live with that amount of shame or self-hatred or pain for that matter, and it is my belief that they need someone to hate. They need someone to project all their huge mountain of pain and shame and self-hatred onto, so that they can have someone to hate instead of themselves. And anybody that gets close to a narcissist is the victim of being the focus of their shame and their hatred. It's a sad, unfortunate truth, especially if you are a spouse or a child of a narcissist, or someone incapable of empathy, self-reflection, self-awareness. Okay. So this process is basically ungaslighting you and showing you that everything that they projected onto you, that they told you, was about them, about how they at least believe what they personally believe about themselves deep down inside. Okay, so it was never you, all of that. Like if they were saying, oh, you're this, you're that, they might as well have been saying, I'm this, I'm that. Okay, so this is just the first step of the process. So this is just like, oh my God, it was all about them. They were admitting of who they are and how they feel about themselves. Okay? And yeah, it might take a while to digest. You might have to take a moment and cry and grieve and let this go. And I highly encourage you to do so if you feel called to do that, and to be present with yourself and just let it all out, baby. Just cry, scream into a pillow, whatever you need to do to release that. Being present with our emotions is the most healing thing we can do. So if you're ready for part 2, what you're going to do is take another sheet of paper, and you're going to like go down the list of, the first list that you made. John Smith, for example, is da da da. And you're going to write down the opposites of all of those words. And you might want to go on the internet and look up the antonyms, or open up the thesaurus and look up all the antonyms of those words and write down the ones that really call to you. So it might not be as blatant as good or bad. So you're going to write down the ones that resonate most with you, okay? And then I'm going to pause here while you do that. All right, welcome back. So you might have guessed what we're going to write at the top of the paper. We're going to write, yes, your name. Your name at the top of the paper is ... So, for example, if your name is Samantha Devonshire, you're going to write, so I'm just going to use Samantha Devonshire. I like the sound of it. At the top of the page is loving, empathetic, kind, reliable, mature, responsible, strong, pristine, blameless, shameless, whatever it is. And you're going to read that aloud to yourself. And you can say, I am, I am, I am. And you're just even more deeply and profoundly validating and reflecting back who you are. And it might be kind of silly, but I find that either recording, doing like a voice memo and recording yourself and listening back, and maybe even playing it as you fall asleep or when you wake up, like you might have to really drill this into your head, that I am this, I am that, I am this. Yeah. So you could even do like a guided meditation, affirmation type thing. So yeah, there might even be an app. If I can find it, I'll link it down below, where you can record these things and it'll just be on a loop. And you can also do a video of yourself. I am this, I am that, I am this, and watching yourself. Okay. I find that videos and doing audio recordings can be very validating if you haven't had a lot of like proper mirroring in your life of who you are. So this is just all about giving back what belongs to the narcissist and taking proper ownership of who you really are, and knowing that you are this beautiful flower, and you unfortunately just got all this mud and dirt and garbage kicked up on you and rubbed off on you, but it never belonged to you. It never did. It was only theirs. And so now you are just shaking that all off, letting the rain come and wash that all away, and being that gorgeous, radiant flower that you are. and letting go of that old identity that was never yours, and just really affirming to yourself who you really are. And I find that narcissists take advantage of any vulnerabilities. So maybe before or when you met this narcissist, you had, some unresolved childhood wounds that left vulnerabilities in your being. And they tried to sink their teeth and claws into you and poison you and try to interject these lies into you. If you're familiar, like Vecna, it's very much like Vecna. If you're into that show, you are letting go of that. You are shedding all of that out, all of that poison, all of those lies, and turning on your favorite song and just turning all of your focus on love, who you love and who loves you, and light. Because that's what you are, love and light. And so I hope that this video was beneficial for you in helping you release the trauma and gaslighting of any horrible abuse you have endured. And my heart really goes out to you. I'm so sorry that you had to go through what you went through. It is my hope and prayer that one day on planet Earth, no human being will be subjected to this kind of abuse and trauma and will be free and clear and standing strong in our power and our love and light. But for now, a lot of us are transcending this theme currently, and this is part of our work to create that kind of world that we want. So, you can heal, you can be free, and that's what I hope that this process has given you, the gift of freedom, knowing who you really are, standing tall and strong in your power that no one can take away from you. I'm sending you so much love and light, many blessings. Take care. Bye. You're awesome. You're a rock star. You're gorgeous and amazing and beautiful, or handsome. And you deserve the best. And it never belonged to you. It all belonged to them. It was all about them. And now you know the truth. The truth